newcomers played for UCF on Monday. There's a takeaway. Wide open O'Meara. He'll bring them to their feet here for Westfield Center.
Poplar a couple buckets early. Only 2 field goal attempts, though. Pack looking for some offense, and he finds it from the corner.
All starts by George pushing it with the burst. Marcus Burton ability from O'Meara to get it going. Now check it out here. George Burton not down in the stance to guard. So then he draws 3 defenders. Now it's too late for Shrewsbury to have any chance to get out there. And Nigel Pack.
I can see where Kyrie potentially gets some of his finishing ability for him.
Oh, Miami up big, leading by 25. Give him 28. Kyshawn George, the freshman, with that full head of hair, buries a 3. You know, they're 6'7", 6'6". You know, and the Woko's obviously got some size to him. But if you were going to put the biggest 5 on the floor for Miami, is George buries that 3. This is them.
It's very true, especially at their positions.
Explorers have won 3 straight coming into today. Their last game was last Saturday. They won at Lafayette by 16. Keyshawn George emerging for Miami. Time to go in the first half.
George with the 3-pointer fresh off the bench. Hey, that is a confidence shot. He plays with a lot of confidence. Ricketts has got to try to take advantage of his bigger player, but shout out to George just sliding with him, playing well defensively.
Oh, Zan rejected.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful stroke for Kyshawn George.
3 of them, and George has 2 of them. But again, we talked.
Mellis has a torn labrum, and Muser has foot surgery scheduled for next week. So when you go into a game like this, Dan, you know you need all.
Great place to be, especially during the winter.
When our bosses say you've got a game in Miami, I don't think anybody says no.
I tell you what, that was a beautiful find from George. He was not even looking
Long.
But
scoring drought by miles.
You see George with the find from ACC play. Conference play starts, well, it's already started, but picks back up. Right after the new year, Bensley Joseph knocks on another corner 3. One of my favorite guys to be around.
Yeah.
Love him. He just constant energy. As Christian Watson knocked down another 3. Watson had 10 points at Kentucky.
And at this end, North Florida has taken almost 3 times as many 3-point shots as 2-point shots. Not going to get a shot off that time. George, throw it to the rim.
And he can't get it back. Dylan Hunter won't let him. George hoists it up and hits his 4th 3 of the game. With the shot clock winding down. George is having himself a night. He's got 4 threes and a game high.
Not to say that he won't be at day's end, but he had that final shot. Inside George. What a feed from O'Meara. Back. Yeah, here's the look. That's a great backdoor feed.
Really good job of Louisville finding him in transition, finding him along the baseline, finding him off penetration. George, the theft, the patience, and 1. In France. Watch how he puts the defender on his hip. Puts him on his hip, rides him to the front of the rim. That way he can play through contact. That is a...
Here's Collins. Padula spinning through against George and got it slapped out of there. Now here's Miami. Quick transition and Cleveland the dunk. Wow. Skip for George. He'll launch from the logo and bank it in. Wow, what a big shot for the freshman, Kyshawn George. Right?
Well, he's on the end of the logo right there.
Here's Chandler Jackson, sophomore out of Memphis. Good defense by Poplar. Up ahead to George.
The way they attack the paint just makes them a difficult out.
Worley blocked by George. O'Meara keeps it in bounds. And then gives it up. With Nwoko, Cleveland, Poplar, and the man of the hour, Nigel Pack. It'll be the freshman George back in the game.
You got to get out of his way, young fella.
Nwoko's going to set the screen. George rises.
Oh!
Keyshawn George, young man. Dog late.
Burton has it poked away by Matthew Cleveland. Here comes Kyshawn. Going end-to-end, laying it in. Yeah, before that, Corey, the Irish had missed 9 of its last 10 shots. Coming out of the timeout, they get a good look. Not as good as that one. 3rd straight dunk for North Chad O'Meara.
And, of course,
Patrick Mahomes squaring off in the AFC Championship game. That's a big deal.
George, throw it up to the rim. And it's another dunk for number 15. Omier now with 28 points, a season high.
Trying to chisel his way into that pit D. Gets it back. Needs to shoot it. Gave it up. George got it away in time. And he made it right at the horn. George the board for the Canes.
And I think as he matures and gets stronger that George is going to be a terrific rebounder. We know he can do that.
Poplar saves it in the corner. It's only a second to go on the shot clock for George.
There's that 42-inch vertical.
He hadn't dunked for a few games after the ankle injury. Got one against Pitt Saturday as George spikes it into the second row for Jim Larinaga's team in the wrong direction.
Well, NC State +4 in the turnover margin, and typically Kevin Keith's teams do turn you over for extra possessions.
2 minutes to play here in Miami. George driving it around Barron. Scoop shot, yes! And a foul! And the freshman will be headed to the line.
We've talked so much about Norchad Omier, Nigel Pack, but we have not spoken enough about the impact that Kyshawn George has had on this team, not only defensively, where he's done a great job.
Boy, good ball pressure there by Omier. Tough catch for Hall. And what they're doing is extending the catches. George ahead to Cleveland, who slams it, and Miami gets back within 4. Miami does not want to foul him, and Clemson's so far had the advantage from the foul line. George keeps his toe down and buries the 3. What a big play by George.
His three-point percentage is up, and he's already got more blocks and assists than he had all of last season. Kyshawn George with the steal and the finish.
He is one talented freshman.
Duke has won 15 of its last 17. One of the 2 losses was to Pitt when they didn't have Roach or Mitchell. Beautiful feed from George to Nwoko. Kyshawn George, Michael Nwoko trying to get things going for Miami. They still got a long way to go, but down 19.
Less than a second, that ball's either shot or they're swinging the ball. Excellent offense early by Georgia Tech.
George with a deep 3. Both teams have taken more than half.
And on the other end, George with the answer. Beating Miami to those loose balls. And again, the message received that was given by their head coach.
George gets free. He's got 16. That's his 4th 3. Dongo to Kelly, blocked by George.
Big battle for the rebound and a save for the Canes, and here they come.
Confidence right there for Kyshawn George, pulling up on the break.
Man.
Forced by Miami's full-court defense.
8-0. There's another one. Picked off. George will turn and fire. Got it! A three-pointer.
Which is what kept the ball alive.
Shot clock down to 7. Kyshawn George, a deep 3. Buries it. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Nothing run. 4 threes against the Eagles early, including this one from the freshman Kyshawn George. 10 seconds to shoot. George in attack mode, working on Madsen for a double team. Floats it up off the window. Wow.
Claimed by Miami.
Post has 15. He has knocked down 3 threes. Great pass. Omier rocks the rim. One-handed flush.
Another rebound for Norchad Omier, and here comes Kyshawn George. Throw it toward the rim, and Wooga Poplar says, I can't go up and get it anymore, but I can catch it and put it in.
Miami's hit just 2 of their last 10. George, foul line leaner. Good.
Nice patience by George, getting into the painted area, using the pump fake coach, and then the soft touch.